island of Puerto Rico. Growing up is a little bit different, like I was telling you guys. The hustling in the island, as the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, all that is the same. It's always to get out of the island. Um, Parents, like I explain, a lot of people, parents, they like to put their future on their kids by pushing them to science so they can become millionaire and have some money and have a better life. So growing up, I was pushed a lot by my mom, especially. um I remember, like, we never had a bad game or I struck out, like, my mom would wait for me in the car and just letting me have it.
Sounds like some dads.
Yes,
I've
yes.
actually done that a couple times in my life too. I mean, I get it, right? And I mean, did you like appreciate that at the time? And now moving forward, do you appreciate it now to you
Yes.
now?
Oh yes. Because this is the reality of my town. Is like you either become a baseball player or you become like a drug dealer or something, because the criminality is very high where I'm from. So I appreciate my mom. I even my coach, because my coach also, he used to whoop me. I strike out with bases loaded one time. Uh, my coach made me wrong. Then he hit me. I said, man, like, what did I do wrong? I just struck out.
Hey, I think
Hard
that's a
lessons.
I think that's a little bit different than what would happen here in the United States, or maybe even now. I don't know if it would still happen in Puerto Rico now. That seems like a lot, but like you said, I guess it got you where you're at.
Yes, yes, and that's something that I preach to the players here, like, just to be thankful, just by just being coach, because I'm out there. I see it all. Just by a coach being on your kid doesn't mean that he actually doesn't like the kid. Doesn't mean that he wants the kid to leave and stuff like that. I mean, just be appreciated that somebody's on your kid and he's coaching you, because I think a lot of stuff where coaches go like, "It's okay, buddy," and I be like, "It's not okay. It cost the team 3 runs. That's
Yeah.
that's not okay." So just being coach is like an act of being appreciation here in America.
Well, one of my coaches told me once, the day I stop getting on to you is the day I don't care anymore. And I got frustrated when I played sports, high school in particular. They were always on me, and I couldn't figure out why. And he brought me in there and said, "Hey, the day I stop getting on to you is the day I don't care anymore." And that kind of struck like a chord. And I was like, "Oh, okay. So if you don't care that I'm messing up, then I got a problem." He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right, I
Oh,
get it."
100%, 100%. One of the toughest team is like try to coach all of the kids, 10, 12 kids, because you're not gonna be perfect. And also the how the parents take it is another thing. Like, in my case, I I am a very I'm on it. I'm gonna be on my kids. I'm gonna yell at my kids, not because I hate them. It's because I love them, want them the best for them. The first thing that I tell my team every year is, in practice, if you don't show up to get drafted, we are not gonna match, because I want you to get drafted. If you hear that's your dream, playing college, playing for the MLB, okay, that's exactly what you're gonna get here.
And showing off. Sorry, I didn't mean to
No, you
interrupt,
good.
but showing off. Do you mean by being confident, right? Like letting everyone know that you're here. Let everyone know that you made a good play. Like not everything has to be quiet, right? You can celebrate your big wins, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely right. One of the things that I look in my players and that I teach and I attack my players is with the attitude. Like, okay, you hit a home run, you pimped it. Now you struck out, you here, you crying, you feeling bad about it. No, that's not gonna go well with me. Like, you gotta be the same player, have the same killer attitude. Okay, you throw me out, I'm coming on my next at bat. And that's something that so far it has helping the kids that I've been coaching in the organization Furia Baseball that we're running.
Javi, let me throw something in here real quick. So I love you. I love what you just said. You said you don't when parents are like, it's okay, it's okay. That's one of my biggest pet peeve. I get, encouraging your kids, but when they're doing something that is not okay, we have to put that out there also. And not many parents understand that. I coach at a private school, so when I tell them from the very get-go, hey, it's going to be like this. And when I say this, it's not because I hate your kid, but they need to understand that that is not okay. I get everything's encouraged, good job. We'll give your son a high five when that high five comes. But when we need to, say, hey, that was not okay, parents need to kind of step back and be like, oh, you're right. That wasn't okay. Because in that kid's head, especially at the higher level, that kid's going to think, oh, well, mommy and daddy said that's okay. But in all reality, in our eyes, it's not okay.
Yeah.
And I think on that point too, I think it's okay to make mistakes and make errors, right?
Mhm.
As long as it's not like a mental mistake that you keep making over and over and over again. That's when we shouldn't be saying, hey, it's okay, move on to the next play. But if you just bobble a ball, it happens. It's okay, shake it off, move on to the next play. Like you said, you hit a dinger last time. Now you've struck out. We don't have time to complain about it. Everyone knows you did it. No one else needs to say anything to you. It's how you react to that. If you react to it, moping around and bringing everybody else down around you, that's an issue. But if you just say, hey, man, I struck out, he beat me on 3 good pitches, next time I'm going to blast one off on him, that's the attitude that you're looking for in your teams, correct?
Yes. And that's, to me, that's the attitude that's going to take you to where you want to be. I didn't have a lesson. I didn't have anything, no camps, no lesson, no coaching. But the attitude that I was taught when I was little of go get it. You don't have a second chance. This is see or nothing. Like my coach, when I was 10, 11 years old, he's giving grumbles. And if you miss one grumble, you out of the practice.
So it's not, it's okay.
Ooh.
If you, I'm telling you right now, this guy, he's giving grumble. If the ball get between your legs, if you make a bad throw, you done for the day.
Chabi, let me add in on that. That's absolutely correct. It's harsh, but in today's society, everything has been watered down big time. Hate to say it, but it has. We have a comment on her says, I wish coaches were harder on my kid. And she's absolutely right. We need to be hard on our athletes because everything else is not acceptable. If we're trying to.
Well, let me chime in for maybe some coaches that, and I struggled with this for a long time until I figured it out with my own kids. You can coach them hard, but you got to love them just as hard. And that's the only way that works.
Exactly.
Right? And I think a lot of coaches that are new to coaching don't understand that.
So this is one thing I stress on my parents' meeting is they're going to love me and they're going to hate me. There has to be that love-hate relationship. Sometimes I tell the parents I'm a big teddy bear.
Yeah.
Because once they see me chewing their kid out, but then yet they're going to see me, coming in for, a hug, high five, and praising the kid. But not a lot of coaches know that balance.
Well, and somewhere along the line, we forgot about standards. It's okay to have a standard and hold someone to that standard.
Definitely.
And you can do that without berating or belittling someone. Like, this is the standard. This is how we're going to do it. This is what I expect from you. And if you don't, this is the consequence. And I think as long as you set those lines as a coach, you're going to set your team up for success.
That has to be from the beginning.
Absolutely.
From the beginning.
Day one.
Once they sign up for your team and you don't set those rules, then they're going to start sending emails and like, why are you treating my kid? Then there's going to be the bad blood. But once you set it from the beginning, these parents will understand, like, I love that coach.
Yeah.
And I think it's not just coaching too. I think it's parents and being everything in life, because your job is going to be like that too. We've talked about that a little bit before. You got to push the kids hard, but you've also got to love them hard too.
Yeah.
They got to know that there's an equal balance. Like,
I know somebody cares about them.
Yeah, and that you do care about them. And if their grade does fall below 80, something's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said, the biggest thing that the kids getting recruited to college is GPA.
Yeah.
Yes. That's one thing, the GPA. That's one thing. My son's a freshman. And the very first thing that his principal said was GPA will get the half scholarship or quarter scholarship over the talent. If there's a kid at the same talent, or a little, not as talented as a player, but the GPA is higher, they're going to give the GPA higher.
Yeah, that coach knows he doesn't have to worry about that kid.
Exactly.
Hey, I do have a question for Chabriel. I do all right?
I told you, Chavi.
I'll try.
Oh, man.
I'm trying. Hey, but listen. So my buddy Abel had asked a question the first podcast that we had, and about how it's so much different in the island countries than it is here. Like you hear about these stories about like kids hitting bottle caps and anything else with a broomstick. Is that
Mhm.
true? How does that work? How much time are these kids putting in, or how much time did you put in your training to be the best baseball player that you could be?
It's every day, honestly. It's not just hitting bottle caps. Is your bodies come and pick you up, like talking about 10 kids around the same age. You walk to the bar, you know, like 4 or 5 miles to the closest bar. You start picking up the caps.
So those in essence become your baseballs for baseball practice that day.
Yes, yeah, that's it. If we want to play bitilla or chapita, like we call it, the bottle caps, we have to walk, get them at the bar, come back. You got to steal a broomstick from somebody, and then yeah, let's play. But I think that effort is what makes us so much stronger mentally, because baseball is a mental game. So when you have to go here, walk 4 or 5 miles to go to practice, like I was explaining my kids, I said, guy, for me to go to practice, I have to walk 5 miles. I have to go to the highway and I have to start raising my hand so somebody give me a drive to the field. And once I get to the field, I get there, whatever time I get my work in, and I gotta do the same thing coming back. So when you have that drive to go just to practice, we're not talking about playing. When your drive is that big to go to practice, then your baseball game gonna be so much smoother, so much funner because the drive that you have just to practice. And I think that's the difference between players that are over there and players that are over
I
here.
was going to say, I think
Yeah.
that's the missing link between,
Mhm.
the comfortabilities we have here. Um, you know, they just aren't the same. They're not comparable. You have a drive to pull yourself out of poverty and in a bad neighborhood, and the kids here, they just see the show on TV every night, and then they want to do that, and they don't. I think a lot of times they don't comprehend what it takes to get to that level. I've coached football for the last 10 years, and every year I ask the kids who wants to play college football. They all raise their hands. Who wants to play in the NFL? They all raise their hands. And so I tell them, okay, three of y'all stand up. And three of them stand up. And I was like, this is who's going to finish high school and probably play college football. And I said, all right, two of y'all sit down. I said, if we're real lucky, maybe one of you will play at that next level after college. And it's not to scare them away from it. It's just to set that mindset that it starts now at 8,
Mhm.
9, 10 years old. That drive to get to that next level starts now. And the reality is just a lot of kids don't make it because it is hard work. It takes a dedication to get up and go to practice at 6 a.m. and go to school all day and come back and work out and watch film and to do all those extra things,
So you mentioned mental toughness, right?
Mhm.
Who's the most mentally tough baseball player you ever played with?
Well, when I signed, there's a guy named William Astudillo. His name is they call him La Tortuga. He played with the Twins and he played with a couple other clubs. But this guy, he's from Venezuela. Um, this guy in 300 and some at bat, he only struck out 3 times. So when you see somebody like that, you want to talk to him and say, "Hey man, like what is it? 300 and some at bats, you struck out 3 times. That's like 3%." This guy. So he started telling me his story, this and that. So we talk about somebody that he can miss a ball. You hitting BP and you miss a ball and you don't get to practice because you just hit a foul ball.
Yeah.
Like how much better you get. We started.
That'll change your focus real quick.
Yeah, yeah. Like I I have a group of 12 years old. If they hit a foul ball, they have to go get the ball. But that's nothing compared where if you
Yeah.
hit a foul ball, hey, you're done for today. So you have to be mentally tough, man. Just to like you hitting 100 balls, 50 balls, whatever. You have to put everything on the field.
Yeah.
But those are the results, like
So now did you try to transition here? But did you go to college to play ball?
yes, yes,
What school did you go
yes.
to?
I went to Wabash Valley College.
Okay.
Yes, up in Illinois.
Wabash?
Yes.
Okay, Wabash. Okay, and so Wabash is they're a D3, correct?
No, it's a D1 JUCO. It's
D1
ranked,
JUCO,
yeah, it's
okay.
ranked 3 in the nation.
Okay, okay. And you were there for 2 years. Did you get drafted
Yes,
after the 2 years?
I signed after the 2 years, and in that college, somebody always sign.
Okay.
Yes,
So now who'd you sign with originally?
Phillies.
Phillies. Okay. And how long did you spend any time in the minors? I'm guessing.
Yeah, I spent about 4 months in the minors. Yes. I got a shot. Once I got there, I saw like, okay, like this is
It's a little different.
this is the real deal.
Yeah.
Like when you get there, you have to actually compete and you have to know how to handle pressure because everybody's at the same level. But consistency is what's gonna determine, hey, you're gonna stay here, you're gonna go home. So my competition, like I said, was William Astudillo, Cameron Robb. Those are guys that made it to the big leagues. Yes.
That's awesome.
So when you went to Illinois, what'd you think of the weather that first winter?
Oh, I want to kill myself.
Are you serious? Was that cold?
Yes. I mean, you have to shovel snow out of the dorm, And I was like, I'm not made for this, Like
Hey,
I couldn't understand.
that doesn't sound very mentally tough, though, to me.
No, yes. It took me a while to adjust to the weather, but they had a couple of cages, and I had some time off to go to the gym 6, 7 in the morning. It's like -2, -3. And me and my buddy, I said, hey, look, I have to go to the cages and I need to work on a breaking ball. Because coming from Puerto Rico, I didn't know what was a breaking ball. I swung at a fastball hard as I could. And then the first time I saw a good breaking ball, my coach said, hey, you gotta learn how to stay back. I said, coach, the pitch disappeared.
Now did your knees buckle a little bit?
I swung, I went out in front of that. Oh my gosh. So I had to learn how to hit a curve, if I want to stay Wabash Valley College and keep my scholarship, because I couldn't hit the fastball a mile high. But when I first saw a good curve, I was like, oh my gosh.
How did you handle the I can only imagine it had to be a huge cultural difference. I went to Puerto Rico this summer. As Americanized as it was still a very big cultural difference. And, so I'm kind of wondering I'm 43 and that's not hard for me to understand, but as a 17, 18, 19-year-old, can you kind of tell us a little bit about that culture shock you went through?
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough because that was the first thing that my mom told me at the airport. She put me to the side. She said, okay, here we don't discriminate. We happy people. We talk to everybody. But over there, it's going to be a little bit different. So I'll never forget these words. And I still preach this to the kids, where she told me, you cannot be at the same level. If you have 2 hitters, she don't know much about baseball. She always hit. If you got 2 hitters, you cannot be at the same level. You gotta be above if you want to have a decent chance. So when I first came, it shocked me, just the way some people treat you.
Mm-hmm.
Just I didn't know the English well, and I feel like people understood and they still asked me just to make me and kind of work. And there's times that I sit on the bathroom and cry. A lot of experience that I don't want to say here, but I like like everybody's the same person. Like why I have to go through this?
Yeah.
that's terrible that you'd have to go through something like that, and it's awful. Like you're over here
Mhm.
trying to better your life, and you're coming from a different country, and being treated like that is awful. And I want to, apologize that such a small portion of people can wreck something for something that's so special for you coming here. And I honestly feel awful that you had to go through that.
No, no, I appreciate it. It's only make you stronger. It is what I told myself. It only gonna make you stronger. So if you would be a bad player, I wouldn't go through stuff like that. But because I have a God given talent, I guess I gotta go through this, and I just gonna get better.
And learning to hit the curveball.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I still struggle with that.
so now I'm gonna let you brag about your team a little bit. So I know just from you guys playing with us, your 12U team is pretty salty. You guys were nationally ranked this last year as 11U team. Kind of talk. I'll give you a little chance to talk about your team a little bit, brag on them a little bit.
Them boys, baby.
Yeah.
Is that what you call them?
Yes,
Them
yes. I
boys?
love them. I love them. I love them because just this weekend, we didn't play, but we put 5-6 hours of practice, and that's what I tell them. I say you have to be, like my mom told me, you have to be above average if you want to make it somewhere. I know they 11, I know they 12, but I trade these kids like they men already. I told to them, I told them, no crying here, play hard, you know, and your attitude is what's gonna determine how far you're gonna make it. So they pretty talented. I'm not gonna lie, but a lot of them is the parents understanding me and matching with me because it's not easy. That you have another person yelling at you some. They're understanding that part and then putting the work. We got practice. They know it's not going to be 2 hour practice. It's going to be 3-4 hours. Because I tell them like the competition is worldwide. It's not just here in Texas. It's not just here in America. So for us, winning is important. Winning is important, and that's what I tell them. When you go to high school, when you go to college, when you go to pro, the coach depends of his record. If you don't know how to contribute to a win starting now, what make you think that you're gonna learn how to contribute to a win later? So when you come here, guys, you have to do something to contribute to the team and help the team win.
Yeah. One, who the heck wants to lose? I mean,
Yes, exactly.
uh,
So, but it is more than that. It's them understanding, like, hey, when you go to play for example, LSU, whatever, that coach, he don't have time to develop you. You know, the only time that he wants is to win. He wants to win. He want a big trophy. So whoever are the 9 players that are ready to win, those are the guys that he's gonna choose.
yeah.
So you guys either learn now how to contribute to a win, to work hard, to get bigger, faster, stronger, or if not, he's gonna choose somebody else.
So when you're looking for a player for your team, what are you looking for? What are the characteristics that are the biggest things for you?
So 3 speeds: arm speed, bat speed, running speed. I don't care if you raw. I don't care if you started playing last week or if you've been playing 6-5 years. If you show me that I can help you develop those 3 speeds to get them better, yes, I'm gonna use you.
Now-
Real quick, JJ Gomez off of Facebook. Chawi has them boys like machines. So good job out there. That's from JJ.
Yeah, I know Jay. Well, yeah, on the team, that's pretty much what I look for. Is I want to develop the bat speed, the arm speed, and the running speed. Um, if you have one of those threes, like I tell everybody, I mean, you gotta master one, then you start master the second, then you start mastering the third one. You're gonna be a 5-2 player.
Perfect.
Hey, let me chime in real quick. Hey, viewers, if y'all have a top play from this weekend, actually from the weekend coming up, get them in to us on Youth Baseball Talk, Facebook, DM, or Instagram. Us guys are going to be voting for a top 5 plays of the weekend. So just get those in. I know some people already got those in already. We'll be looking at those after this stream, but get them in, get them in.
I'm really looking forward to that segment, that weekly segment. I think it's gonna be something that's huge for us. And I think we've also discussed that at the end of the year, after the end of the fall season, we're gonna have the play of the year. So we'll take the plays of the week and then we'll move them into like a championship round, have it be the play of the year, and we'll probably grab a couple wild cards out of there too. Like like if it was a really close week, move some of those to the championship. And I'm looking for some big prizes for that. I think Mike might have something.
Yeah, I think we got a couple Nakona gloves. We're going to give one away. I'm sure I can find a bat somewhere.
Yeah, and I will also probably donate a glove as well, so we can make this really big. And I'd love for parents that are videoing their kid, if somebody makes a great play and you filmed it and it was your kid who ended up getting out, we'll probably have a prize for you too. And maybe that will be one of those gloves or something if that's the winner, because the game changer gloves, I mean, the game changer plays aren't always as good as when the parent is down there filming. So if you film something that's excellent, it doesn't happen to be your kid, send it into us anyway. Because hey, if that one ends up winning it, we'll give you a glove too.
Hey, if I don't see a player from Furia Baseball in those players of the week, if we don't win it, the whole organization got burpees.
John Carlos, do you hear that? We have one of your players, John Carlos Nunez.
Yes,
He's in here. I'm still tired from yesterday.
So let's talk about the elephant in the room, and at least it is for me. How do you handle kids with parents that aren't what you need them to be, or problem parents, as I would call them? It's the parents that cause problems, or they start drama where drama doesn't need to be started. Are you prone to let that kid go because mom and dad, or you just tell mom and dad, hey, you can't come anymore?
Well, I first give a chance, but after my chance, I try to explain myself, and I try to make sure the parent understand what is the situation. The problem is that a lot of these parents hasn't played the game. So they don't understand the game. They just seeing the game, and they think because their kid hit the ball or the kid's doing this and doing that, they think a kid should have the same chance of another kid that might hit the ball harder. But a lot of the problem that I get is parents that just don't understand the game, and you have to explain to them, hey, this is how it works, this is that. So that's my warning.
Yeah.
After if the situation keeps going, then I just force to let the parent go.
Well, and we have several organizations like yours that I truly appreciate, because we don't have any issues with parents or coaches when you guys play with us, and I can't thank you enough for handling that in the way that you handle it. I never get a phone call from my guys saying, hey, these Furia parents they're acting up, they're getting on the umpires. We don't hear any of that from your club, and so that tells me you got a handle on that parent situation.
I appreciate it. We try our best. Try our best.
Yeah, parents. On a weekly basis, we see parents that just, I think they're the thing that's pushing kids away from baseball, and it saddens me to see that. But we got a lot of parents that just are wound a little too tight when it comes to little Johnny.
And again, I don't think it's just pushing away from baseball either, right? I think, because I've been to other sporting events as well.
Yeah.
And you see it in soccer, and you definitely see it in basketball, and you see it in all these other sports. I'm not too familiar with football, but
so far away from
that Friday Night Tyke show that was
my goodness.
So you're seeing it at all these different sporting events and these teams. So I think it's probably manifested its way into every single youth sporting event that there is.
Yeah, for sure.
And like you said, most of the times it's the parents.
Well, it is hard, as a parent, you don't want to see your kid on the bench. You don't want to see your kid failing. Now, what are we doing as a parent to make sure that when my son goes to the field, he's succeeding? Because a coach won't deny a dude that he's just raking, that he's just making play, that he just, he know what he's doing out there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we got parents that think, oh, we go to practice every day, we should be playing, or my son is doing this and that, it should be playing. Hey, if your son is putting in the work, in the little weaknesses that he has, it is gonna show eventually. So if you put in the work, hey, okay, let's give you a little bit of time, see what happened. But if I'm not putting in the work, I cannot come to my coach. I say, hey, my son is on the bench, my son is doing, because it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about this last week, how if your kid is sitting every single game, that's probably not the team for you, right? And that's okay. That's why there's different divisions of baseball. That's why there's different divisions in the major leagues. There's minor leagues, there's A, double A, all the way AAA up to the major leagues. There's divisions for kids to play. So if they're not playing on one team and you don't think that's the right fit, you could always leave, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And you're talking about parents coming up and talk to the coaches. At 12 years old, I told my boy, I don't talk to the coaches anymore. You kind of have to have those conversations with the coaches yourself. What age do you think is a good age for kids to start having that conversation where the parents aren't included at all?
11 and 12, that's the perfect age. Because if the kid is not self-motivated to work on the things that he needs to work on, then baseball might not be the sport that he needs to play.
Or any sport, or any like Cub Scouts or Boy Scouts.
Simple.
Like,
It's simple.
Yeah.
If the kid doesn't tell you, hey, that coach say I need to hit more, I need to pitch more, if he doesn't have any interested in doing those things that coach asks him to do, then his love for the game is very little.
One other question. I noticed your hat. It's really a dope looking hat. I really do like it. I like the color combo on it. What is it? What does it mean? What's that hat mean? What's the what is it?
Oh, this is Furia, baby.
Okay, what is it? Yeah,
This
but
is Furia
what is it?
baseball.
What does it symbolize though?
First of all, it's a lion.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
it. It tell you everything. Attitude, aggressiveness. We're coming for you. We never back down. So the lion has to be the symbol.
The pride.
Yes, Furia is just furious. I tell the boy we're gonna be aggressive. Like my team is, if we're not diving for a ground ball between third base and shortstop, hey, we're running. That's what we want. We want to be aggressive. Okay. Yes, we might lose some games. We might lose a lot of games, but we're gonna work.
And you may have people, other teams or other parents, talk trash about that a little bit, that aggression and that positivity for your own team, right? That they may be haters if
Oh man.
So,
Oof.
but you're still coaching them the right way. The parents are doing the right
I
thing.
love it.
The kids are doing the right thing. And if people are
Hey.
just hating on you for being aggressive, I mean, what are we supposed to do?
Look, it fit me. It fit me. It doesn't give me down. I have grown men parents make fun of my absent. I have people cussing at my kids, saying bad words to my team.
So that's one thing where I always draw the line at too. Like, it's one thing for kids to talk trash to other kids, right? I get it. It's gonna happen. Handle your own stuff. But when parents talk trash to kids,
Hey,
immediate issue, right?
I mean, it gives me going. I get very upset. If you wanna get me upset, any of my kid, pick any of my kid and talk trash to them.
You
It's
could
gonna
talk.
give me.
You could take the people talking trash about you, asking us.
Yes.
You could take the people talking trash about the umpires or whatever else.
Yes.
But when somebody talks trash about a 12-year-old kid or even a 14-year-old kid, like,
Yes.
I mean, it's
don't
insane.
do it.
I gotta say, like, as an official, anytime I see it, it's an automatic ejection. I was down in Riverbend down in Waco when I was 19, 20 years old. It's been a while, 20 something years. It was a Super Series event. It's a Dallas Tigers dad. Kid struck out. Dad was like, I didn't pay $1,400 for you to watch strike three. And I took my mask off, said, you got to go. And he goes, what? I'll talk to my kid however I want. I said, you can do that in the car on the way home, but you're not going to do it out here on the ball field. Take a hike. And the coach came to me and was like, I'm so glad you did that. That guy wears me out.
Yeah, but see, even that's a little bit different for me. That's a father and son, or a mother and a daughter, or whatever, or a mother and a son. That's different than somebody else, like another coach talking trash about one of my kids on the team,
Yeah.
or like another coach talking trash about the kid on your team. Like,
Yes.
like,
yes.
Hey man, that ace sucks.
yeah,
Ace
yeah,
sucks,
yeah.
man,
Or
like that.
like, his arm's weak, or he's afraid to swing, or when they even take it to a different level and take it even more personal, like actually you hear sometimes you hear like throw at him or like stuff like that. Like,
Yes.
what are we doing?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, baseball is just, it has to be the most competitive game in the world. Look, think about this. When a player on the other team makes an error, the opponent team goes like, what?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, I say like, and I think about it, I say, this kid just made an error. He feels terrible. And the other team is yelling,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, but again, it happens in all sports. Like if you
Yeah.
basketball, you shoot a 3, air ball. Everyone is letting you know
Yeah,
that it happened too.
It's so competitive.
I think all sports are
know?
so competitive. Like all the stuff that we watch on TV is so competitive, and I think sometimes we lose our thought process on that too, because the level that you played at is a lot different than the level us three played at. And how, like you say, when you got up to the Philadelphia Phillies and you were there for 3 or 4 months, you were like, wow, this is way different. Like the competitiveness in this is
Yeah.
way different. Like you were like just shocked at how competitive it was.
Mhm.
And it's crazy how you keep moving up those levels and the competitiveness just keeps going up and up and up and up and up.
Yes. No, I mean, baseball, you gotta love it. I mean, to make it to the MLB, you gotta go through 4 teams in the minor.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
what is a 100-mile-an-hour fastball?
Oh my
and then,
god,
and then they
whistles.
snap a
Ah.
curveball that you haven't seen out before. What is that like?
it's so unfair.
Unfair.
When I first got to camp, I get to face Giles. He was the closer for the Astros. The coach told me, "Hey, he throws it." You know, I said, "Okay." I mean, you know, I'm motivated. I
I'm
go
gonna
there.
barrel it.
Okay. He threw me a fastball. By the time I loaded, fastball was already on the catch. So this is what it means,
Yeah.
okay? And then he come with the slider, and I completely for myself.
How far outside was the slider too?
Oh, it was way out there, you know. And I hurt my elbow a little bit because I snapped.
Yeah.
Like, I said, "Oh my gosh!" So now, how do you hit this? You know, like it's just so crazy. Not only that, what people don't realize is like 100 miles an hour fastball. The ball is like a golf ball. You barely see it, man. It's like
And they hide it so much better. It's not like you see it
Oh.
all the way coming out of their
No,
hand.
yeah.
that was 7-8 years ago.
Yeah.
Imagine now, you know.
So I can tell you from as an official, anything over 96, you can't hardly. I don't care what anybody says, you can't hardly see it. I
It's
was doing a
fast.
showcase
It's
at Mary Hardin Baylor when I was in my early 20s.
When you could still see.
Yeah, exactly. And this kid was committed to Brown, and he was out there warming up, just throwing breaking balls. I'm like, okay, he's a breaking ball guy. We're gonna see a bunch of breaking balls. Man, the first one, knee high, inside corner, a ball whistled.
Mm.
Catcher was like, "Where's that at?" And I was like, "Shh, man, I don't know. Tell him to throw it again." I couldn't even get strike out of my mouth. I was like, "Whoa!" It had to be, I would say, anywhere between 93 and 96, and the ball had a whistle on it. Like every time it threw it, and then pop. And I was like, "Man, this dude ain't playing."
No, man. You have to get ready for that, like playing top competition,
Yeah.
like early in your age. You know, like playing 12U, 13U. Like we're playing 12U right now, and this kids that touch 80 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So we know about your baseball club. What is your favorite club to play against?
Oh man,
Who's your biggest rival?
Bandidos
That's your
out of
Banditos?
Houston?
Out of Houston.
Yeah.
Banditos Black.
Yes.
That's your biggest rivals?
Yes, I mean, I love it because I get to play against the owner, you know, and we've been playing since 5 years. I always have a little scout team, and we end up playing them somehow. But it is my favorite guy to play because everybody just get better. My team's gonna get better, you know, even the kids get better. Me and him, we're gonna get at it. You know, everybody's yelling, and it's so much better.
Who's a local organization that you really like to play against?
Honestly,
Whoever comes across his face.
Because I
Pretty
don't
much,
even know
but
them.
we play up. We play like right now. We are playing 13U Open
And you
As,
guys are
at 11-year-olds.
11?
as a 12, 11 years kids.
Yeah.
All right, Chabi, thank you for coming in and talking with us, man. We appreciate it. Again, we hope, you know, you have very successful, keep on having a successful season, and keep grinding those boys. A reminder, everybody, get your videos in for the top plays, and we'll get those viewed. Thank y'all for joining in. And again, send us DMs, talk to us, and we'll, you know, get all the comments on our next show next Monday. Thank y'all.
Thank you, guys.
What'd you think?